So, hello friends, I'm back with a new video that is related to class 11th history. So, in this video, I will give you a box explanation. The boxes which are present in the chapter 2 writing and city life in the history of class 11th. As we all know that boxes are very important because sometimes direct questions are asked in the examination in the form of one markers, and sometimes some passage from these boxes are given and then questions are asked. So this is very important as per the examination point of view. And I have tried to cover them all. So let's begin. So starting from the first box, the Varka head. Box is related to a that box is titled with the Varka head. So here, if we analyze in detail about this, so it was of this box. So we will know that in this write-up a description for about this sculpture art which was excavated by archaeologists is given. So it is given that it was made around 3000 BCE. So what we have find that this sculpture was made around 3000 BCE, that is before Common Era, with white marble at Uruk. Okay, so white marble was used in construction of this, and it was found in the city that is known as Uruk. It was found in the city Uruk. So then it is written that lapis lazuli and shell and bitumen inlays were used in eyes and eyebrows. So what is lazuli? So lapis lazuli is a metaphoric rock. I have added a pic so you all can see. This is an example of lapis lazuli. Uh, this is a rock kind of structure which is used to give beauty to any art masterpiece, and it is used today also. And then shell and bitumen inlays were also used to decorate the eyes and eyebrows. So we can see that how beautifully this sculpture piece was made at that time, and groove on top for ornament. So you all can see this is a groove, and this was present on the top as an ornament. So this is a world famous piece of sculpture admired for modeling made from hard stone that is imported. So this line matters the most. It is saying that the this whole piece is made of hard stone that is now not found uh, at the region of Uruk. So that was imported from other regions. That tell us that how in the Mesopotamian civilization trade was going on. Import, export was the feature of import and export was also present in those civilizations, and how advanced they were. So this was the first blue box that is given. Now coming to the next, that talks about the seal and urban artifact. So this blue box tells us about the seals that were present in Mesopotamia. So what were they? At the first few lines, a parallel was drawn between the Indian seal and the Mesopotamian seal. In India, seal means that the seal that were found in the Indus Valley civilization. So those seals were made from normal stone, but the seals that were found in Mesopotamia were unique. They were made from, they were in a kind of cylindrical form. Now, what is this? Like they first of all they uh, first of all, they make a they imprint what we have. They have to uh, present here or stamp here in the form of cylinder. Then they take a uh, then they roll it over a hard stone like this, and then we get the imprints by putting a stick forward here. So this is how it works. But in India, they directly carve in the seal. So this represent that how India, the seal that were present in India were different from those of Mesopotamian civilization. As I have already said, that the center fitted and with stick. Now here a stick is fit, and then its imprints is given on a rock or any other thing, and it was rolled over a wet clay. So this is a clay, and it is rolled over this only, and we get these kinds of imprints. Okay, like this is a, cylinder, and then first of all a highly skilled craft person make carvings in it, and then put a stick here, and then roll it here. That's how we get this. So these seals were created by skilled craftsmen. They were not created by a normal person, but those should be highly skilled in order to create this. Oh, carry writing, name of owner, his god, his official position. These seal also carry the writing um of the name of the owner, that who own it, his god, and his official position. Now the word his god tell us that in Mesopotamia there were variety of deity. There was no single god, but many gods. That's because in every seal, who the owner possessed carry his his own god. These seals were also the mark of authenticity. That it tell us about who possess it, and it authenticate the person. And at last, it is the mark of city dwellers' role in public life. So, who are the city dwellers? These are the person who live in areas. So, these seals tell us their role, that how they are related, and they are contributing in their public life. So, they were many important. They were very important, uh, and they carry a central part in the development of the civilization, because it gives the identity to each and every person present there, and this how the society gets strengthened. This is just like the Aadhaar card that we have today. So we can compare it with the Aadhaar card that India have today. Coming to the next slide. So the next box tells us about the palace at Mari. Mari is a place that is in Mesopotamia, that is cut from the other cities like Ur or Uruk, and it is situated somewhat isolated as compared to other cities. So in this blue box, a description was given about the king Chimlirim, his palace. So there was a palace that was made by King Chimlirim, and he lived there. The palace was used for administration and production. So the palace was not only for the purpose that the king will live there, but it was also used for the purpose of administration as well as the production. There was a production of variety of commodities like metal ornaments and etc. So here a story is given that a king from North Syria came to visit in the palace, and what he find was tremendous. We find that huge quantities of food was made regularly there. Flour, bread, meat, fish, fruit, beer, wine was present at vast quantity. There was only one entrance gate from north, and this tells us that how, for the security purpose, that how they tried to secure the palace, and this also gives us that how important was the palace for the kingdom. It had beautiful courtyards. King received foreign dignitaries in this palace only, and this palace is of 2.4 hectares and it consists of 260 rooms. You all can imagine that how large that palace was. So this box give us a description of a palace that was made during the Mesopotamian civilization that dates back to 3000 BCE. That before 5000 or 6000 years ago. That how beautiful palaces were made. Now, the next box tells us about the excavating Mesopotamian towns. That how archaeological techniques developed in due course of time and get sophisticated that they can excavate minute differences also. Then they were able to get what the archaeological techniques weren't able to get before 50 or 30 years. Here a description was given about a town that is known as Abu Selabek. That is very small as compared to other towns like Mari or Uruk or Ur. So this was a quite small town as because this is of 10 hectares. If I compare this town with this palace, so this palace is only of 2.4 hectare. So you can imagine that how small this town is. It have population less than 10,000. uh, so what archaeologists use, they use the wall scraping surfaces. They use wall scraping method in order to scrap surfaces, and this tells us that how technological advanced archaeologists become. They sieve tons of earth to recover plant and animal remains. In order to get the historical remains, they remove tons out of mud and soil in order to see that what is present here. They were also interpret that where were kitchens located. They were able to found fish bones, plant seeds, and fiber. Dung cakes burned as a fuel. They were also to also know that how those people use what fuel, that how dung cakes were burned at that time in order to get fuel. They can also find where was in a house where was living room. They were also able to get that in the street pigs roam, and this also tell us that how dirty streets were. Pig bones were how was found with house burial, and this tell us that those people of Mesopotamia believe in afterlife. Okay, so this box tell us that how archaeological techniques developed, how those archaeologists able to do microscopic studies at each dimension of life of people. What they were not able to do 20 or 30 years back, they can find now very easily with low budget cost, and they can hire a huge amount of people. This tells us that how the system of archaeology evolve with time. So this slide, this is one of the most important box that is given, because this box is not come just like given a write up, but it is very informative. So, one marker or two or even two marker question can be asked from this box also. So, this box tells us about an early library, like a library that developed during the Mesopotamian civilization. That how the writing was the legacy of those people, and they also developed a library there. How advanced they were, and what all we can learn today from them. So, at first of all, a description about the Assyrian kingdom was given. Assyrian of North created empire. We have to remember this date that a direct question can become that Assyrian of North created empire during which time 720 and 600 BCE. Then this box tells us about the state economy under the Assyrian, that extracting labor in replace of animals, that they ask people to give services, and then in reward those people get food and other things. Babylonia, that was for high culture acknowledged by Assyrian kings. Then this box tells us about the great empire and kingdom Babylonia. That how Babylonia was center for high culture acknowledged by Assyrian kings. The kingdom of Babylonia is renowned today also. That how great it was. So now then a ruler of Assyrian Empire, that is Assurbanipal, uh, ordered to create a library at its capital Nineveh. Now he sent scribes to the south, and in the south only this kingdom of Babylonia was located. And he ordered his scribes to gather tablets on histories, epics, literature, astrology, etc. Now his tribes went towards south and entered the kingdom of Babylonia, where they can found huge collection of tablets created. As we all know that Babylonia was one of the most developed region that is present in the Mesopotamian civilization, and in comparison to other region, it was very developed. The scribes were easily able to find tablets in the kingdom of Babylonia. So during 1800, no Sumerian speaking public, but it was taught in schools. So during 1800, when Assyrian Empire came into when other empires came into power, the language Sumerian, which was used earlier and was the first language, was exempted for speaking. That no one will speak this language, and in replace other language were introduced. But in accordance to the rich legacy and importance of this language was used in schools and to be taught to those scribes so that they can prepare a cuneiform. That you all know, I think, what is cuneiform. That are symbols like this, and through these symbols they communicate, they write. During 600 BCE, cuneiform tablets present similar to 2000 BCE. So we all know, we all read that though Sumerian was banned for speaking, but it was taught in schools, and this is the reason that the Sumerian which was found in 2000 BCE, that was very earlier, can also be traced in 600 BCE. This tells us that how important the language Sumerian for the people was. Now those scribes went to Babylonia and started to publish repeated number of tablets. They made copies of texts like Epic of Gilgamesh under ruler of Assurbanipal. So if they were scribing under the ruler of Assurbanipal, then they it is sure that they will write about the praise of this ruler. So they write, these few lines are given here, that what Asurbanipal make them to write about him, and from there only we know a detailed description about him. We find that when this library was created, a system of representing books in library was present. That how well management they do, that how sophisticated management system they have. They created shelves to have different books in their library, and this tells us about the rich legacy and the technological advancement, the type of management they have, the people of Mesopotamia. Now the last slide is on an early archaeologist. Nabopolassar released Babylonia from Assyria control in 625 BCE. In the previous slide, we see that Assyrian created their empire during 720 and 600 BCE, and they captured the city of Babylonia. Now, the ruler Nabopolassar released Babylonia from the Assyrian dominance in 625 BCE. A direct question can be asked from here. Babylon developed and its territory increased. Babylon was capital of this kingdom. So Babylon during this time, Babylon developed and its territory increased. They also organized the building projects and Babylon. During 539, Achaemenides from Iran annexed Babylon. So this city of Babylon see a repeated annexion, and how important this was for the Mesopotamian civilization and how rich it was. Babylon, now then this brief description of the city Babylon is given, that it was a premier city of 850 hectares. Now if I tell you that how 850 hectares is much, we can compare it with another city, that is Abu Salabak, that is only of 10 hectares. Now we can see that how great the city of Babylon was. And a zikkurat was also present in this city. So this is a zikkurat. This is a type of temple in which God is preached and worshipped. So this is made by the ruler present in Babylon. Now another ruler of Babylon is given, that Nabonidus was the last ruler of independent Babylon. So he was the last ruler of independent Babylon. And he see a dream in which god of Ur is the city, came to his dream and asked to appoint a priestess. Which post? So if I tell you that who is a priestess is a female priest that is not from Christianity. Okay. So god of Ur came into his dream and asked to appoint the and fill the post of priestess, which is vacant from many years. So what he does not know that he how priestess look, at what dresses they should wear, and how they are carry on. And he started archaeological excavation. He sent in his men, and what his men find was very different from his imagination. He find a stele, a stone inscription that is 150 of BC. That 150 BC means 500 years earlier. He was able to discover something that belonged to 500 years past. Nabonidus' men also brought the statue of King Sargon, although it was broken, but it belonged to 2370 BCE. it was double of this 1,000 year old. He was able to excavate something that is 1,000 year old. This tells us that how those earlier people was also motivated to do archaeological work. Okay, so this marks the end of each and every box that is present in chapter 2, writing in city life. Thank you from my side. Do subscribe, comment, like my video. If you face any doubt, please do comment and please keep supporting. Thank you with this.